We all take thousands of actions every day, but there's a difference between acting and acting with purpose. Check out this story. In May 1996, 24 climbers tried to scale Mount Everest. They got caught in one of the worst storms ever encountered on that mountain. 8 people died, including 3 of the best climbers in the world. Beck Weathers was one of the climbers stuck near the summit that night. Listen to him describe his life-changing experience.
It is cold beyond any cold that you've ever experienced. It cuts through you. The visibility just goes to zero. It's like you're standing in a bottle of milk and you're being sliced by blowing snow and ice, and the wind is trying to knock you down. And of course, if you cease to move, cease to walk, that's where your heat comes from. And you very quickly start to freeze to death. And so you're in a very much of a bind. If you try to hunker down and wait it out, you have the very real possibility of freezing to death. If you continue to walk with no visibility, you have the very real possibility of falling to your death. Neither choice is a particularly attractive one, and mostly you just try to hang on. I was in the storm 22 hours, and I was unconscious, frozen, face down in the ice for 15.
So Beck Weathers had fallen and he was stuck in the snow. Other climbers found his body. They believed he was dead, and they left him there throughout the night. Early the next morning, Weathers had a vision of his wife and children. All he could think about was how his marriage was failing and that he had lost touch with his kids. He had a new purpose. He could not let his life end with his family in disarray. He became determined to reconcile with his wife and reconnect with his children. Overcome with emotion and a burning desire to see his family again, he forced himself to stand, and although he was practically blind, he chose a direction and walked. Fortunately, he chose the right direction and was rescued. What an amazing story. Beck Weathers had one of those unique moments in his life where he had to dig deep, find his passion and his purpose for continuing. We all have moments like that in our lives. Perhaps you've already experienced one, and if not, I'm sure you will sometime in the future. But acting with purpose is more than just one moment in time. It's about finding a way to have a purpose behind our actions each and every day. It's actually the sum total of thousands of little steps that create an extraordinary life. We know that when we can connect our passion with our purpose, we can make the greatest difference in our life. And so it all comes down to how do you design your life so you can act with purpose. Well, here's a little story about a young woman named Anita. She had a dream to open a business, just like millions of other people around the world. But what she did each and every day really set her business apart. Anita wanted to sell beauty products to women, but she also had a strong belief in being environmentally friendly. And this is something that she demonstrated each and every day. She made sure her products were not tested on animals, and she sold her products in reusable bottles, and this is long before recycling became popular. She could barely afford to decorate her store, so she plastered the whole place with posters of social causes she believed in. And her customers appreciated this. She was able to act with a purpose each and every day. 2 years later, she opened a second store. Another couple of years, she started to franchise. And today, there's over 2,000 stores in 50 countries, thanks to Anita Roddick and her business, The Body Shop. Anita's a perfect example that when you act with purpose each and every day, you can have a major impact on the world. When she died, her share of her business was worth over $237 million, and she donated it all to charity. When she was just getting started, people used to look at her and say, how can this one woman really make a difference? And one of her favorite quotes, if you think you're too small to have an impact, try going to bed with a mosquito in the room. Anita's just another example of someone living an extraordinary life. Mother Teresa said, if you can't feed 100 people, then feed just one. Recognize that your greatest power comes from aligning your passion and your purpose and taking action on that each and every day. When you do that, when you act from a place of purpose, your power is exponential. You'll be unstoppable. You'll live your dreams, and you will make an impact on the world.